Will AI steal your job? How's it going, everybody? Jay Quazza here, and today I want to talk about something pretty near and dear to my heart. Definitely affects my work industry. I work in marketing. Definitely affects my work industry, but it's also been a really popular topic lately within the past year or so. About the emergence of AI, ChatGPT, things related to that, and in the workforce. It's going to start stealing people's jobs. People are, rightfully so. They're pretty worried about this. So this video was also sparked kind of as an idea by Wylearn, who did a really great video on the AI analysis in the workforce and the job industry. Go check out his video if you haven't already. I think it's probably going to do a lot better of explaining this than I will, but I want to talk more specifically for my industry, but also the workforce in general. So I work in marketing specifically, and a lot of what I do is on LinkedIn. It's social media marketing for a mid-sized company, a service-based company, and it's really important that we, work on LinkedIn to get, advertisements out or social media content pushed out. That way, first of all, our customers know what we're up to, our clients know what we're up to, other businesses can see what we're up to that we're close with, but also to bring in new business, right? And something in this industry that's really taken off lately has been the emergence of AI. A lot of people on LinkedIn are using AI to create their posts, create pictures, content, all sorts of things. And so far, it's been pretty well received. Most of the time, you can really tell that a post has been created with ChatGPT. For all of you business owners out there that have rocket ship emojis in your post, just know that we do know it was made with ChatGPT. Like 99% sure that it was made with ChatGPT. But anyways, that plays into a huge part of what I want to talk about today. And essentially, for social media marketing or just marketing in general, or really any industry that has to do with social media or any form of being online, should you be worried about the emergence of ChatGPT and AI taking over your job? And I just want to preface this by saying, no, you probably should not be worried, but it really does depend on what your job is. So I'd say if you're like a very low level intern at a social media company, they might be able to replace some of the tasks that you do with AI. They might be able to just kind of automate some of the things that you're doing along the way, but in terms of taking over, you creating that content, I don't think that they could just replace you with ChatGPT. And the main reason is it really just doesn't have its own voice. So even if a business owner wants to sit there and take away your job and start using ChatGPT instead, that business owner has to put in the man hours to now work through ChatGPT to create a brand voice a lot of times, and to also modify and fix the content once it's created by ChatGPT, because it is never very good. I'm just going to be honest with you. It has not been very good, and I've seen it all over LinkedIn. So I know for firsthand experience, or with firsthand experience, that most of it is not good. So yeah, I mean, if you're like a low-level intern at some big corporation, there are going to be some things that they can probably automate through AI, but at the end of the day, there are still a lot of benefits for them hiring interns and also for you working there. So they will find other tasks or other things for you to do while you're there. I wouldn't worry too much about ChatGPT or AI completely taking over your job, but again, yeah, it'll probably automate some things. And if anything, make it a little bit easier for you to navigate through your internship. Now, Wyland talked a little bit about like software engineering, I believe, and how you can automate a lot of the processes with AI, which I think is really incredible. And here's why I think that is because if you are working in that job position and you understand how to use ChatGPT, or you want to learn it a little bit, or any sort of AI in general, if you can learn how to automate that thing for your company, you will probably be moved up in that company quite a bit. They're going to look at you as very resourceful and also innovative, because AI is a new thing, and a lot of business owners don't have the time to just sit there and try to figure it out. So if you have the opportunity to be able to do that, try to do that. Try to learn those things, and you will actually make a lot of headway at your company. Now, obviously, that's dependent on the company you work for. Maybe if you work at a big company, they might not care as much, but a smaller company will definitely like the fact that you're resourceful and looking to branch out with new innovative ways. I work for a really small company, and in those terms, I also use ChatGPT for my marketing materials. So everything I create is crafted by me, edited by me, created by me, thought by me, but I do use ChatGPT to kind of help me along the way. So especially on days where I'm not very creative, or there's a deadline I have to hit somewhat soon, I have ChatGPT help me come up with better ideas or crafting ideas in the first place. And then I take all those things and I edit it all to our brand voice. But with this, you have to be very, very careful, because this brings me back to what I was talking about earlier, where business owners are trying to do things on their own, which obviously is great, but they're using ChatGPT, they're creating the post, and they're just pressing post. They're not really editing it much at all, if anything. But when they are, it's just very small tweaks and it doesn't really sound like them. It sounds like ChatGPT, right? So it's very easy to distinguish between a real person and ChatGPT if it's not edited or changed at all. And by editing and changing, I don't mean just mixing up a couple different words or using a smarter word, within the post, but I'm talking about actually creating it within your brand voice, which if you know anything about marketing, there's a lot that goes into that, obviously. You're trying to get certain points out to your audience, but it also has to fit within the company and the brand. For instance, a brand like Nike is going to have a much different brand voice, with the just do it tagline than like a Burger King, right? One of them is going to be more on the go, getting shit done, working out, working hard. The other one's going to be about fast food. So if you just stick something into ChatGPT, it doesn't really know how to distinguish that. And if you're in marketing, you probably chose marketing for a reason. You like to be creative, especially in the social media space, or you just went to college for it because it was really easy, because I did that as well. But if you chose to go for marketing, it's probably because you want to be creative in some sort of space, an outlet, right? You probably want some sort of outlet to create in. And, there's a lot of artists and things in marketing that choose marketing because it's a safer 9 to 5 way to be creative every single day. And that's the reason I like it as well. So if you're that kind of person and you chose marketing for those reasons, you definitely do not want to use ChatGPT, because if you start using ChatGPT, it's going to take away your voice completely and it's just going to turn everything very black and white. There's not going to be any really room for creativity or thinking. And I think as a marketer, you should have your own thought process and your creative style, if that makes sense. I think it's very, very important. And companies want to hire you because they see your vision, not ChatGPT's vision. So, with all of that being said, if you're in the marketing space or any digital online space, use AI tools to automate things and make the tough things that you have to do, maybe the daily tasks, make them easier, right? Show the company that you're working with that you're innovative and you can find solutions to the stuff that really nobody wants to do. Because in marketing, there's a ton of stuff that no one wants to do. And that's basically the same in every, job industry. Now, I'd say the job industries that do have to worry a little bit maybe are like fast food, something like that. I think there needs to be some regulations or laws preventing AI from completely taking over, because who's to say they can't program a robot to make a cheeseburger? I mean, I don't really know. And that's what I'm fearful of most, is because I actually genuinely like human interaction. So if I do go to a coffee shop, I don't want to see a damn robot hand me a coffee. I actually want to see real people and feel like I'm having a real connection with someone when they're handing me a cup of coffee. And I really wish I did have the answers or knew something about could AI eventually take over that industry. But again, I really do think there needs to be some regulations and laws preventing that, because that's a scary, scary place to go down. Um, we're already in a pretty weird, time with finances in America, I'd say. Like, people are really struggling just to buy houses and cars and to save money in general. And so, if we start getting AI to take over people's jobs, that's really bad. The other thing I think about too with those types of jobs, like in fast food industries or whatnot, that's where a lot of people get their experience. Like me, for instance, I started off working at AMC, and yeah, there were probably some things that you could train like a program to do, but for the most part, it was like actual physical labor. So I don't really see too much of that being taken away. But that's where I learned how to actually work a job. That's where I learned how to actually interact with a manager and a boss. And I think those things are extremely, extremely important when you're growing up and trying to learn how to work. Getting into the workforce in general, I think you have to start at these lower level jobs. And, not dogging on anybody, because you can actually make careers at places like McDonald's or like a Walmart or an AMC. You actually really can have a career at places like that, and very successful careers as well. But I think low level people, like someone that's just joined the job day one and they're 17 years old, yeah, I think that those jobs need to be held for people. I don't really think anybody wants an AI like robot hand handing them a cheeseburger out a window. So that's just my kind of thoughts on it. But overall, I really do think that AI can be a great thing if you pair it with a great brain. Especially in marketing, it's very, very easy to just get caught up in having AI create all of my posts. I could really do that if I wanted to, especially with my side hustle business. But I will never allow that to happen, because they hired me for me. And I want to make sure that I'm giving them my all every single day. And that might be different if you work for a big corporation or a big company. I work for a small company that really does value their employees. So, in that sense, I want to make sure I'm putting in as much as they're giving to me. But at the end of the day, I do like to use a little bit of AI to help me with, creation of ideas and automating some very, very simple and easy tasks that we would not hire somebody else to do anyways. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, please just consider subscribing or consider hitting the like button. I do think that AI can be a helpful tool in the future for all of us in different job aspects, but overall, I do not ever want to see AI or robots taking over any sort of industry completely at all. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.